welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for being here today. If you are new and you are coming from one of the other channels that is part of this amazing collab, welcome. I am so excited that you're here. My name is Lakin and I am also so honored to be a part of this collab again. The Pen and Paper Girl started this whole concept. She started it last year where she had 25 amazing planner women who are sharing their ideas, sharing their expertise here on YouTube to give a tip. Last year we did planner tips, and so for 25 days, one of us uploaded a video sharing our biggest planner tip with you. My video was all about not overbuying stickers, especially weekly sticker kits, and I showed how I store my weekly sticker kits to help prevent that. Still totally believe in everything I said in that video. I'm gonna link that whole playlist down below, so if you didn't catch last year's collab videos, go check that out. This year, she came up with something really cool though. It is called Seasons of Planning. And what she wants us all to share is about the seasons of life that we've been in, that we're going in, and how our planning has been impacted and helped and changed throughout those various seasons, that hopefully you can connect with somebody who's in a similar or going into a similar season of life and what you can learn from them and their planning style. I also think that even if somebody is in a completely different life stage than you can still learn a lot from them sharing their lives and their knowledge. All right, before I get into the questions, I want to remind you that there is a giveaway associated with this collab. So over the course of the 25 days, there will be 25 videos. And then on the last day over on the Pen and Paper Girls channel, she will have a video that shares all about the giveaway and how you can enter and what you can win. But let's get into the questions. So number one is, why did you start planning? I feel like for a true planner girl, this is a really hard question because it just is almost innate. That sounds so cheesy, but like I think back to in school when I would get the planner in school and that was like the best day ever, and I would immediately write down all of my assignments and all of my birthdays and plans. What plans did you have in elementary school? But you know what I mean? It was just an innate desire to write things down and have my schedule organized. And of course my needs for planning changed over time. Then it shifted into homework and I needed to write down all my homework. Then it shifted into after school activities and I needed to manage all my after school activities because my mom wasn't managing them anymore. I mean, she was, but then once I started driving, she really wasn't. It was like, you have to get yourself wherever you need to be. And then in college, it was, okay, well now you're really on your own and you really need to plan everything. And then what really got me started in like hardcore planning was graduating college and being a grown-up. And I realized that like my cute little fluffy Lily Pulitzer horizontal planner wasn't gonna cut it in the real world. And then now I actually had all this free time where I could do things and I was in control of my schedule. It wasn't dictated by classes. It wasn't dictated by sorority activities. Like it was mine to do with what I wanted, and I needed a system and a tool to organize that. So right after I graduated college and I moved to New York, a friend of mine who is not even really like she's not a planner friend. I knew her from growing up. She posted on her Facebook page about the Erin Condren Life Planner. And what drew me in initially was the quote. She posted a picture of a cover that had a beautiful quote on it, and I was like, sold. I need that planner. I opened it up, the vertical layout. I was like, that's perfect. That's so much better than a horizontal layout, so much more mature. Bought my first Erin Condren, and the rest is history. And then I finally had a tool that allowed me to schedule my time and organize my time. I feel like a lot of people, like you start planning or you gravitate towards a planner or type of planning system because you have so much going on and you need to organize it. I feel like I was initially drawn into the planning world because I had extra time that I needed to make use of and not just like come home and sit on my butt after work. All right, number two, which I sort of already touched on, but I'll elaborate, is why did you join the planner community? I think when I originally joined the planner community, it wasn't near what it is today. That is for sure. So it was that same year that I bought my, brand new, my first Erin Condren Life Planner, and I got it, and I was very overwhelmed. Like, there was a lot of space, and all I had going on at that time, for the most part, was like, go to work from 9 to 5. Like, I didn't have any like crazy schedules. And I was like, what am I gonna do with all this space? How can I make use of this amazing tool to the most of its abilities and my abilities to like live a life, an amazing life? So I went to the place that you go for all the answers, Google. And I typed in like Erin Condren planner ideas or something like that. And this Facebook group popped up. This Facebook group called We Love EC popped up, and I was like, perfect. Join, done. And I scrolled and scrolled, all these great ideas, all these amazing women with all these incredible ideas. and suggestions on how to use your planner. And then I found the stickers, and there were stickers, not just using the stickers in the back of your planner, but places where you could buy stickers. And then I realized everybody was on Instagram, and it was like, here's my Instagram handle. And I would go to Instagram, scroll and scroll and just look at ideas. So I initially joined the planner community to get ideas on how to better utilize my Erin Condren Life Planner when I had no idea what I was doing. That was almost 7 years ago now. What? All right, now we're getting into the season. So number 3 is, which season of life did you recently come out of? I feel like the season of life that I am recently, very recently coming out of is where it's just about me. I just told you this whole story about how I got into planning because I was now in control of my time and it was all about me. And that has where I've lived for almost 7 years, where it has just been about me, my schedule, what I want to do with my time. It doesn't matter. Besides showing up to work every day, like for the most part, I'm accountable to me, and all the plans in my planner is because I want to put them there. And I didn't really have to take anybody else into consideration. It was just the season of me. And I'll be the first to admit, I don't think I took advantage of that. I don't think that I did the best job of utilizing that time when I could just focus on me. Because question number 4 is, what season of life are you in now? And the season of life that I'm in right now is engagement. I recently got engaged, so I'm trying to plan a wedding and still maintain my relationship with my fiance and still do all the other things that I wanted to do in my life, but also plan a wedding at the same time. But I also feel like engagement is this like joyous, like like just everything is magical and happy, and I can just take a ring shot in front of anything that looks pretty. Oh, I'm gonna take a picture of my ring in front of this. Like, it is just, it's an amazing place. It's an amazing place to be. And when I was thinking about how I was gonna answer this, I was like, does that count as a season? Because sometimes I feel like when people say like, I'm in this season of life, I feel like it implies like a long stretch of time, like high school or college. And even hearing the paper and pen girl's example when she was giving us the questions, she was like, you know, I am currently in this, I just got out of the season of middle school age kids and I'm going into the season of high school age kids. And I'm like, that's like a 4-year chunk of time. So is a year and a half, does that count as a season of life? And I decided that yes, it does. Because my life right now is so different, and my season of life is so different than it was prior to being engaged. It is, it's just different. So that's the season of life I'm in right now. I bet you can guess the next question, and I bet you can guess the answer. Which season of life do you think you will be going into next? Obviously, the next season of life I'm going into is married life, newlywed life. I think that initial phase of being married where now someone else's schedule really is part of my life. Now, we live together, so his schedule is already part of my life, but I think when you're married, it is on a whole different level. Like, if I forget, if I don't consult him on something, like agreeing to a speaking engagement or traveling for going with my friends, like, it's not the end of the world. Like, more it's like, are you gonna be in town so that someone can meet Charlie? I'm trying to phrase this so it doesn't sound terrible, like I don't consult him, because I do consult him. But like, if I forget to mention something that I have plans, like it's not that big of a deal. And I don't necessarily think that totally changes when you're married, but I do think that there's a shift that once you're married, like, you should be consulting with your partner before making major decisions. And I just think that, again, going from this world where it was just me and I controlled my time and I controlled my schedule to now I really am in this partnership and our schedules and our lives are intertwined now, and I need to make sure that we're intertwining them and that I'm taking him into consideration and vice versa, and etc. So that's the season of life that we will be going into next, is married life and all that comes with. Number 6 is, did your planning needs change or remain the same during these seasons? And I think for the most part, my actual planning needs, like my planning structure, stayed the same. Like, there wasn't a big enough shift that I felt a need for a different type of planner. The caveat to that is bringing in the wedding planner into the mix so that I can plan a wedding. So bringing the wedding planner in is a change in my planning needs, but my actual day-to-day planning system, totally the same. I think it's just a mindset shift between all these different seasons as opposed to an actual planning need shift. All right, number 7 is, do you have any words of wisdom for your fellow planner people? I think that my biggest words of wisdom, my biggest piece of advice as it relates to this conversation about seasons of planning and seasons of life would be to be okay with admitting either I need to change my planning style or I don't need to change my planning style. Because I think sometimes we just get torn back and forth between these two worlds. I think on one hand, we struggle with the mindset, at least I do, where I need to pick a planning system that works and it's gonna work for the entire year. I'm gonna use it every day for the whole year and I'm never gonna stray and it's gonna be perfect every day for the whole year. That's not realistic because things change. Your life can change. Even if your life doesn't really change, sometimes your planning needs are just different on a different day or a different type of day. Like my planning needs from a weekday is very different from my planning needs for the weekend. And trying to balance that has been kind of hard. On the other hand, I think we sometimes struggle with all the new stuff that comes out, all the new planners and planning systems and planning all the things that we want to buy, all the things, and we want to switch because that looks like the cool, newest, latest planner. But maybe your planning system works perfectly for you, and as pretty and shiny as that new planner is, you need to stick with what works to get you through this season of life. And so I think it's just finding that balance and knowing what works for you and knowing what doesn't. And I've said this before, I think it was in a Q&A. I think that knowing what works for you means you're using it. I think if you're using it, it's working. That is my mantra on having planner peace, having a system that works for you. If you're using it, it's working. Because I find that when I'm in a funk, I stop using whatever system I'm using or was using, and that's how I know it's not working for me anymore and it's time to try something different. So those are my words of wisdom and those are my answers to the questions. Make sure you head on over to Simply Planning's channel tomorrow. I will link all the collab channels down below, but she is the video for tomorrow, so make sure you head over there. And down in the comments, I want you to let me know what your favorite season of life has been so far. I think a lot of people have been asking, what season of life are you in? So you've probably commented that a million times, but I want you to let me know which one was your favorite or which one are you most looking forward to? Let me know in the comments. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, please click that subscribe button. I upload new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Thank you so much for watching. Happy planning. I'm gonna start over. I'm trying to phase this for phrases. What's the verb? Number 6 is dear. Please don't die, camera. Please don't die. We did it, camera. You didn't die.